All right. Now, for this example number 1, we are given this y equals to x squared minus 10x plus 23, this equation, and we're going to fill out the blanks, and then we are going to sketch. Okay, we're going to make a sketch. Now, what we always like to do is to extract information without lifting a finger, okay? Like without doing anything, can we tell something? I would say if you look at this equation, you can tell a few things already, at least a couple things, at least, okay, without doing any kind of computation. Can you tell a couple of information? All right, there are two pieces of information that's right there in front of you, okay? The first piece of information is that this graph, this parabola, it's gonna open up, okay? That is a parabola, okay? It's opening up because the a value, it's positive, okay? The other piece of information, it's going to be your y-intercept, that it's going to be 0, 23. So let's just say it's somewhere right there, okay, 23. So now, our job here is to fill out the blanks and also to sketch, okay? And to sketch, we are not going to be very accurate. We are not going to draw things to scale. The idea of sketch is to present a good uh, idea, concept, so that we know roughly what it is. Okay, so that's why it's not gridded, because we don't need the grids at the moment. So that's the two pieces of information we can get as of now. And then we say, all right, what else? What else can we get? Let's go ahead, take a look at the axis of symmetry, shall we? All right, axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. So negative b, it's negative 10, 2a, it's right here. So 10 over 2, it's 5, and negative times negative, it's positive. So we can say x equals to 5. It's our axis of symmetry. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is 5 and draw a little axis of symmetry right here. Okay. And then what else? Well, if we know the axis of symmetry, we know that the vertex is somewhere along the line. But now, don't rush. Don't rush to put the vertex as of now, because the vertex could be here, the vertex could be here, so we don't know. So how do we know? Well, let's go ahead and find out the y value of the vertex. So what's a y value of the vertex? Let's see, right? Again, you have the equation. Okay, you have the equation. That means you have the x value. You can find out the y value. So y is equal to parentheses 5 square. Again, make good use of parentheses. All right. Do not be lazy at this part. Use parentheses for positive or for negative numbers. Always, always, always. Okay. So you have negative 25 plus 23, which is going to be negative 2. So that means we have a vertex at 5 comma negative 2. So let's just say negative 2, it's right here. Okay. And since the vertex is below the x-axis, and then it's going to cross the y-axis over there, and we know it's opening up. So that means we're going to draw the parabola this way. And inevitably, we are going to have two roots. Okay. Now, of course, you can use the b squared minus 4ac to find out the two roots, but you can also use common sense. You know, if you find the vertex and you draw the parabola, it has to cut the x-axis twice. So the number of roots will be 2. Okay. Again, you can use the graph, and or you can use the b squared minus 4ac. And looking at the graph will be a way smarter choice. Okay, way smarter choice. Well, and now let's go ahead and find out what the root is. Okay, what's the root? Well, then we have to bring in our quadratic formula. Okay, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we have negative b plus or minus negative 10 squared minus 4ac. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I just plug it in. I'm not going to write down the ABC values because I think we are better than what we had for a few lessons ago. So we have 10 plus or minus 100 minus 4 times 1 times 23. So that would be 92 over 2. So that means I've got 10 plus or minus square root of 8 over 2. And that would be 10 plus or minus 2 root 2 over 2. I hope by now you have this automaticity to simplify the radicals. Okay, and then we will go ahead and simplify. So you have 5 plus or minus root 2 as your roots. So 5 plus or minus root 2, you can write it like this, or you can separate them into two roots. 5 plus root 2, 5 minus root 2. Okay, they're all fine. And I'm going to go ahead and label this too. You should always label this. Okay, you should always label this. And I hope you know the one to the right of 5, it's 5 plus root 2. Okay, and the one to the left of it is 5 minus root 2. And here's a little bonus. Okay, it's really good for you that you know root 2 is around 1.4. Okay, it's a good thing to know. All right, it's a very good thing to know, by the way. Okay, so that's it. So that's how we get the sketch of the graph, and and uh, and we have all the blanks filled out. So that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it for the question number 1. Okay, so it's not very hard. It's definitely something you have to practice a little bit more, so that you are more accustomed to the way you can extract information. Now, when we say extracting information, consider this as the set of tools that you are being gifted. Okay, because ultimately, when we stare at a standard form equation, what is what we want is to extract some good information from the equation. And the more ready you are in getting the equation out quickly, promptly, that makes you very special. That makes you different. Okay. And this is something that I would strongly suggest you to, um, like I would fairly say most people should get it, okay, at all times before they graduate high school. It's like everybody should know quadratic formula. And if you know quadratic formula, you've got to know the discriminant. You've got to, right? It would be a shame that you don't know discriminant, but you know the quadratic formula. It would be a shame that you know the quadratic formula, but you don't know how to find out the, the axis of symmetry. Would you agree? Okay, I hope you agree with me. So make sure, okay, don't waste the effort of your quadratic formula. It tells you some good info right there. Okay, so we'll go to the next example in the next video. All right.